So the nimshal they gave before this entire long explanation about how the food, when it comes through the mouth, so then it needs to go through various different level stages of birurim until it can get the energy and the chayis that it needs to sustain the rest of the body and all of the limbs of the person there. So you bring it into the mouth sets out the psoilus, the outside, it goes through the bloodstream, through the heart, the brain, it goes through the whole process. On the other hand, you have when the baby is still in the womb of the mother. So at that point, the food goes directly to the stomach, but that food is already the digested food. It gets the mother's digested higher level that was already prepared, goes straight to energize without having to go through all the different processes. Basically, he talks about Zoh of Atzilus. Zoh of Atzilus, the midos of Atzilus, before they come down to become midos, they are included in the level of Bina. Bina is the mother. Ab is the father, Chochmah, and Bina is the mother. So Zoh, the child that's been given birth from the mother, is included in pregnancy by the mother by the level of Bina. When it's in the level of Bina, over there, the Ibur, the level of Zoh, gets directly from Chochmah. They're connected because just like the Chochmah, which is in the mother, is in Bina, that comes down to the Zoh, which is in a state of a fetus in pregnancy in the mother's, in Ema. And then Zoh is equal to the level of Bina at that point. But later, when Zoh is born, sort of, it goes in its own place. It goes out from the Bina. Over there, it is on a much lower level because already it takes the food, the regular food, and it has to digest it itself. So it's a little low. This is what he's getting at. Nimshom is Yuvan Lamaskil, understand the parable of this, it'll be understood to a person of understanding. Lamailo b'chinas ibur dezo b'mei imay. How it plays out above is when Zoh is in the level of pregnancy. It's like a fetus b'mei imay in its mother's womb. What is the mother of Zoh? That's b'chinas Eimo Ilah. That's the supreme mother, which is the level of Bina. So then we say, Oichel ma she'imo yecheles. He eats, Zoh eats whatever the mother, whatever Bina eats. Which means that Oz Mozen Shaloi Mechochma Shebetoira, so then his food, the food of Zoh, that come from the level of Chochmah and Torah, is b'chinas pnimis, achinas pnimis. Then it's an inner eating. We learned before the achila pnimis and chitzonis. Chitzonis when it comes through the mouth, but the pnimis when it comes directly. So at that time when Zoh is in the level of ibur in Bina, so then it's a achila pnimis. V'harei oz. So at that time, the level that comes to the Ibur, that comes to Zoh, is Bahashva. So then he's equal. Zoh is equal Lebchinas Pnimis Bina, to the level of Pnimis Bina. Hanikra Yuvlo Ilah, that's called the Jubilee, the Yovel of above, level of Bina. Achar she'oichel ma she'oicheles mamesh b'taburichulu. Since that Zo eats exactly just as the mother eats, as Bina eats, and he gets it straight in tabure, into the belly button. So the Hainu bebchinas moichin de ema haprimis, which means he is in the level of the moichin of the ema, the mother, the inner level of moichin de ema. Now, and as the mushal of above, in which the fetus gets mamish from the food or the vitalization, like the mother is vitalized. And this is what it's meant when the pasuk says, "Rifus tihi l'sharecha." We're saying that this should be a healing and a sustenance for sharecha, for the belly button. Shutaburcha davke. Said before, what's the connection? Why are we saying the food, the Torah goes davke to tabura? Because in this level, when we talk about tabura, ki betabura nichnas kol pnimis ha-Torah k'mo shehi achar kol habirurim. Because into the stomach, the entire pnimis of Torah, as is, after all the birurim, goes in to the person. And this is what our sages tell us. The mlamdim oisoy kol ha-Torah b'yoyse b'mei imei davke chulu, that a fetus is taught the entire Torah, but this is specifically when he is in the mother's womb. That's when he is taught the whole Torah, because in the mother's womb, that's the level which all the Torah comes in the pnimis after all the birurim. Aval b'bchinas leida, but when there is the level of birth, so over there is kvar niftach hasosum. That which is closed opens up, which basically the mouth opens up. V'nistam hapasuach, and that which was open is closed. So the belly button, the tabur is closed. So then then the food comes through the mouth. So over there, it's not going to be the rifus. It's not going to be anymore that healing that comes straight when it goes to the tabur. It's not the pnimis anymore. And then Zo receives external eating, like our eating, which is after birth, which we all eat. So then it is equated to food that requires many sorting out to be able to give the energy. So the Torah over there requires a lot of sorting out. So it's written, in other words, eat my bread. So in other words, that the Torah is considered like bread, like lechem. It's considered bread. Shat Torah nikras lechem. The Torah is called lechem. Lechem agashmi. That's like the physical bread. V'tzorich birur belamed beis shinayim tchila. And first, you need to sort it out with the 32 teeth. That's the chewing. V'achar kach. And then afterwards, it's mucha in the stomach. Kulu. So Balzen Emar, about that level of Torah, it says, I put my words in your mouth. it goes through the mouth. Shemekabel derech hapeh. Over there, it gets it through the mouth. Ve'ein loymar bozeh. And about that level of Torah, we can't say rifus hili sharecha chulu v'dai l'meivav. It's not, because it's not the highest level of Torah, which it goes straight to the belly button, which is the pnimis ha-Torah. The pnimis bin, it comes down there. And also what it says, ושיקוי לעצמותיך. The shikui means the energy for the bones, the marrow of the bones, I think. The shikui la'atzmeisacha. He says the Torah that comes to the rifus, the shorecha, to the belly button, and also it becomes the shikui la'atzmeisacha for the bones, that energy, that moisture, that vitality, who gam came with now. It's also from the above mentioned reason that it's the direct litfi shahat somis minav ki yadua. Bones come from the seed of the father. Somis v'gidin. Alter Rebbe brings it down right in the second paragraph of Tanya. Shu b'chinas oir abba. That is the level of the light of oir abba, which is the oir ha-chokhmah. That is pnimius ha-chokhmah hagonus b'toira. That is the inner level of chokhmah, which is hidden in Torah. V'nase shikui la'atzomois liyos k'moichin shevatzomois. That becomes a shikui for the bone, that is to be like the brains, like the marrow for the bones, which is toisefes lachluchis hamayim. This is the additional moisture of water, miyisoid hamayim shebemoyach, from the element of water which is in the brain, bitmidas, constantly. So that comes from the level of oir abba, the pnimis ha-chokhmah. As he's going to explain, this is Bamison, the pnimius ha-Torah, which comes through into the bones of the person. The kalz. Our sages hinted about this. Then the Gemara says, "Whom Bamesh Omar said lifnei," was said by Rabbi Akiva. Al kol kois v'chois, he would say l'chaim. This is probably the source where we say l'chaim l'vracha from the Gemara. Rabbi Akiva, on every cup of chamra, he would say, and everybody says chamra v'chaya lepum rabona, the wine and life, l'chaim l'vracha, the wine and the life to the mothers, to the mouth of the rabona. What is this wine and life to the mouth of the rabona? Basically, we said before that the mouth is a smaller level than the level that comes to the tabor. It goes to the mouth, it's already a lower level. But what he was saying, on every cup and cup, he would say that the chamra, the wine that's the pnimius ha-Torah. Usually for the wine, for pnimius ha-Torah, in order to have its potency, the effect, it goes to the tabor. He was saying, chamra v'chaya lepum rabbanon. It should go to the mouth of the rabbanon. In other words, it should go through. Even though it goes to the mouth, they should get that they get from the pnimius ha-Torah. Pirush chamra. What is chamra? Chamra b'chinas yayin. Chamra, that's the level of wine. Hamesameach alikim. Yet wine that makes rejoice Hashem. What does it mean, rejoice Hashem? Hamtokas Shem Elikim de Bina, that is sweetening. It's Misameach Elikim. It rejoices Elikim because Bina has the level of Tzimtzum. It's Mitzamtzum. So that is the Hashem Elikim. And Yayin is Misameach Elikim. That is mamtik. It sweetens the Shem Elikim, the Bina. Why? Shuba b'chinas ha'pnimis, because yayin is the level of the pnimis. That's the wine, the inner. Hu ha'maichel she'oicheles kinal. That's the food that she eats, that the bina eats, that the level, that it comes from the level of chokhmah. Shenichnes yayin yotzosoit. We say when the wine comes in, this is the level of wine, then the secret comes out, which means the inner comes out. Bechinas soy de pnimis ima. It comes out the secret of the inner of ima, the pnimis ima. V'nimshach ma'helam legilui, and it extends from its obscurity to revelation. Liyos lemozin gashmi derech hapeh gamke. That this will become a physical food going through the mouth. And that is liyos ve'ezdvorai samti bificha, that it should be the words that I place in your mouth, gam mipnimis ha'toiro shebe'ema ilah. So that they also in the mouth should be the pnimis ha'toiro, the inner part of Torah, which is the inner of Ema Ilah, that is the yayin, should be lepum rabbonon. V'hainu chamra v'chaye lepum rabbonon. The wine and life of lepum rabbonon is mekablim gam bepeh, so that also in their mouth they should be receiving mechamra v'chaye, also from this wine and this life, which is this that is love of pnimi, shenikra, which is called kenikra yain yotzesoid. So from the pnimi should also come through the peh. Mamshich, the pnimi is bina through the peh. Should be dvorei samtim b'ficha. So basically, here he explained the chamra, the wine, and he explained the wine is the pnimius bina, the pnimius ha'toira. Nichnas yain yotzesoid, sameich alikim, sweetens the dinim that go on and comes down, also bepeh. But what is the level of chayim? He explains now in the parentheses. Opirush chayim, he ha'toira ha'pnimis shenikra chayim. That's the Torah, the inner is called Chayim. It's also the Chayim. Chayim also represents, that's life. Chayim Shalom Imcha, which is talking about David HaMelech. He asked him, he asked you for life. Asked life, Ukamaimer, like he says, Man Boy Chayim, the announcement he made, he said, who wants life? One of the Zorah. So he told them, but you see this whole idea, the tzor l'shen chameira, you don't speak lashon hara, things like that, then you get chayim. But basically, you see that the Torah is also called the chayim, that gives the person life, more life, longer life. Kibur b'kama mekoyma is because of, as many places in the pasuk we say, "Sharichas yomim nemar b'toyra davke," that the Torah will man yarich yomecha in the pasuk. So we see sharichas yomim nemar b'toyra davke, specifically by the Torah, by the learning of Torah, we have this idea of long life. That means that Torah is a level of chayi, is a level of life. One pasuk says, another pasuk says, so basically this is V'dai L'mev. So this is basically the level of Pnimis HaTorah. And from this level of Pnimis HaTorah, we bring it down into the level of Pum Rabbonon. That's what the L'chaim that he made. So I think this is very appropriate. We should say L'chaim, L'chaim. You have a zechus to have the Torah. This is called Torah Oyer. This is actually what we're learning now. We're learning Torah. So this is the Torah should be Lepum Rabbonon. Should go into the mouth, and the whole idea is that the Torah that you learn must strengthen you. Either it comes through the mouth or it comes through the tabur. Either way, whether you get it fully or you get it partially, you get directly from Bina, you get through the level of Ibur or not. But the bottom line is the Torah has to energize you, has to give you that chayim v'levracha. So the Rebbe emphasizes everywhere that the learning of Torah has to bring down the practical performance of mitzvahs and also the sharing the mitzvahs with other people and making an impact. And that's, after all, the birurim is at the end of the day, to save davar, hakol nishmas elokim yireves v'tzoysev shmoir, to listen to mitzvahs. So, hadran alach, as you say usually when you complete the Masechta, we've been learning this for many, many years. I would venture to think maybe 20 years. I was learning the Maimer now from the Shabbos in Torah listening, so it's a totally different audience over there. We had a lot of the Maimer of Parshas Mishpatim. Okay. Yeah, so this is the Hadran, and David should help us continue learning more and more. Yeah, what are you saying?
I'm just saying less, and I just hear that you're saying that